All right. So now we're doing TryHackMe, pre-security, how the web works, putting it all together. Task 2, other components. All right. Pardon me. So let's talk about load balancers. When a website's traffic starts getting quite large, or is running an application that needs to have high availability, one web server might no longer do the job. Give me a second. All right. So load balancers provide two main features: ensuring high traffic websites can handle the load and providing a failover if a server becomes unresponsive. So when we request a website with a load balancer, the load balancer will receive our request first and then forward it to one of the multiple servers behind it. So the load balancer uses different algorithms to help it decide which server is best to deal with the request. A couple of examples of these algorithms are round robin, which sends it to each server in turn, or weighted, which checks how many requests a server is currently dealing with and sends it to the least busy server. All right, sounds good. So load balancers also perform periodic checks with each server to ensure they're running correctly. And this is called a health check. If a server doesn't respond appropriately or doesn't respond at all, the load balancer will stop sending traffic until it responds appropriately again. All right, so here's a little picture of what's going to happen. We're requesting something. It goes to the load balancer and it says, which one of these am I going to pick? All right, and that's basically it. So we've got the CDN, or content delivery network. So a CDN can, or is this a content delivery network? I don't know. Anyway, so a CDN can be an excellent resource for cutting down traffic to a busy website. It allows us to host static files from our website, such as JavaScript, CSS, images, videos, and host them, pardon me. Oh my goodness. And host them across thousands of servers all over the world. When a user requests one of the hosted files, a CDN works out where the nearest server is physically located and sends the request there instead of potentially to the other side of the world. Okay, makes sense. So now we got databases. So often websites will need a way of storing information for their users. Web servers can communicate with databases to store and recall data from them. Databases can range from just a simple plain text file up to complex clusters of multiple servers, providing speed and resilience. So we'll come across some common databases like MySQL, MS SQL, MongoDB, and also Postgres, and more. And each has its specific features. All right. The only one I've ever used was the little small one. I forgot what it was called, but it was the one that we were doing in Python for everybody. Well, whatever, no big deal. So we've got this WAF, Web Application Firewall. So a WAF sits between our web request and the web server. Its primary purpose is to protect the web server from hacking or denial of service attacks. It analyzes the web requests for common attack techniques, whether the request is from a real browser or if it's from a bot. It also checks if an excessive amount of web requests are being sent by utilizing something called rate limiting, which only allows a certain amount of requests from an IP per second. Makes sense. If a request is deemed a potential attack, it will be dropped and never sent to the web server. All right, that's pretty good. And I guess this is like the WAF right here, the web firewall. It slaps this. If it can go through, it can. If it can't, it can't. All right. So what can be used to host static files and speed up a client's, apostrophe visit to a website? I bet it's a CDN, a content delivery network, just because it's got 3 letters, right? Let's go CDN. How about that? Let's see. Host out. Anyway, that's why I'm choosing it. Yeah, I was correct. All right. So what does a load balancer perform and make sure a host is what? What does a load balancer perform to make sure a host is still alive? So what's a load balancer do? Health check. Load balancers also perform periodic checks, blah, blah, blah. Health check. Let's do it. So health check. Submit it. Looks good. What can be used to help against the hacking of a website? Another 3 letters. And you know what? I can only see another 3-letter thing. Plus, it's a firewall. We know what those do. Let's put a WAF in there. WAF. Submit it. Excellent. All right. So now we're on to task 3, how web servers work. And we'll see you next time.